welcome the Voices on Main Street, where small town voices meet big ideas, real stories, expert advice, and local gems, powered by people shared with purpose. I'm your host, Jackie B, and today we're diving into a story that shines literally. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you've ever stepped into a crystal shop and felt that instant sense of calm or wondered how do these stories and stones actually work? Well, today's conversation's for you. I'm joined by Jaime Sens, owner of a crystal mine right here in Westboro, Mass. Now, Jamie has built something really special, a local gem, literally helping people find balance, clarity, and purpose through stones, energy, and education. So let's dig in and discover what's really behind the magic of crystals. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Welcome. I'm so glad to be here. What a great introduction, Jack. I love it.
All right. You're welcome. I love your shop. It's amazing. It's
Thank you.
amazing. It's it's you literally feel it when you walk in. There's no other explanation. It comes over you. All right. So again, Jamie, welcome to the show. Let's start with your story. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how Crystal Mine came to be.
Like many during COVID, things got shaken up a little bit. Life shifted pretty big for many. I was in a completely different realm of work. I ran a business with my husband for 15 years while I raised young children. The damage that COVID did was wipe away the possibility of that business to proceed to persist and live on after 15 years. So, if anyone's ever heard of the term the dark night of the soul, that's kind of when you go deep into yourself, when you really got to dig out what's going on and what do you need to do to come back up into the light and the joy of life. So we were going through some pretty tough times trying to figure out what to do, what's next on the agenda, how do we get another livelihood up and running. And my oldest daughter actually loved crystals, and she's the one that really introduced me to going to some crystal shops. I've always loved having like a piece of amethyst or a piece of quartz in my life because of their beauty, but I never really connected them to any sort of spiritual metaphysical space. Just pretty little stones to have in your space. And I entered a crystal shop one day and fell in love with this crystal, and I asked them what it was. What's the name of this crystal? And they said, "Oh, that's scolecite. It's such a peaceful stone. It should bring calmness into your life, help you sleep." And I was like, "Really?" Like kind of giggling, like, "Oh, I'm going to bring this stone into my life and all of a sudden things are going to be calm and peaceful." Okay, well, I love it. It's beautiful. I'll take it home. And I purchased this crystal, brought it home, put it next to my nightstand, put it on my nightstand, and slept like a baby. And I was like, wow, that was the first full night of sleep I've gotten in a long time. And noticed that my sleeping started getting very much better. Noticed that I was feeling this sense of calmness. So I really started questioning, is this the placebo effect? Am I convincing myself of something? So off to the crystal shop I went again and bought a couple more crystals, and they just like twinkle. They're so beautiful. They're Mother's Earth's creations, and they uplift the beauty of a space. And as I started to bring crystals into my life, I found things in my life just started shifting for the better. And I kept questioning, and I started researching about this. Like, is this a real phenomenon? Is this something that people are making up? What's going on? And yeah, and I could go down some more stories about things that led me here, but I knew my life was changing. I knew my life was upgrading, and I attribute it to the crystals. And I said everybody needs to know the power of the crystals, and this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do to shift my life in the forward fashion, find a new career, bring crystals to people. And I mean, it's just been magical ever since. The magic hasn't stopped. So, yeah. So here
That's
we are now.
awesome. That's awesome. What a great story.
Thank you.
So before we jump into our big questions, it's time for our Main Street mention. And that's where we spotlight another local gem that deserves a little love. And this week's shout out goes to Mike Amato and their team at the Entertainment Specialists. These folks that keep Boston celebrations going in more ways than one. Now, you might remember Mike from our recent episode, How to Choose Wedding Entertainment in Boston. A great listen if you're planning an event, and you can catch that episode and more stories from local business over on Voices on Main Street. And when you reach out to Mike, be sure to tell them Voices on Main Street sent you and make sure that you send them to a crystal mine. Now, Jamie, I don't think I gave them where your address is. Could you tell us where a crystal mine is located?
Yeah, we're in Westboro. The address is 276 Turnpike Road. We're right on Route 9 East, heading into the city or town, shall we say. Easy to find, right on the main routes. Yeah, so that's where we're at in Westboro, Mass.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Jamie. Now it's time to get into what people are really searching for. And so we call this segment People Are Asking. So one of the questions that they ask, what are the best crystals for beginners who are just getting started?
Oh, one of the best crystals for people getting started. One of the first crystals, besides these like magical moments that I had, that once I entered the realm of the crystals, I found black tourmaline to be really effective in my life. Black tourmaline is a very soft, fibrous crystal. It is known to reduce negativity. It's known to help people ground. So, a lot of times when people are, maybe in some sort of emotional state or upheaval of any sort, it's a very good grounding stone. So, I feel like that's one crystal that really propelled me into doing a lot of the work that I do. And I'd say another good one is always, our infamous quartz. Quartz is considered a master healer, a
Hmm.
programmer. If anyone's really familiar with electronics, none of our electronics work without the programming of quartz. So, quartz is in all of the programming of our TVs and phones and things like that that they discovered back in the early computer days, I think in like the 70s, that they could program with quartz. And it's a very powerful amplifier. So I think when you really want something in your life and you need to work with healing, quartz is another great turn to.
That's a couple of great ones. So next up, this comes up a lot online. Is there a real difference between raw stones and polished crystals?
So a lot of people do come in with that question. Some people really feel like the raw stone gives you the raw feel of it.
Mhm.
Some people really like that they can feel the dips, the crevices, the untouched pieces of it. But for me, on a personal note, I truly enjoy polished just as much as raw. I think that the polish gives you a nice smooth feel to it, so it's a comforting thing when you can rub your fingers over a smooth edge sometimes. I think carrying them in your pockets, in your purses, everywhere you go, holding on to raw ones, you can, polished ones, you can mix them up in your hand. And at the end of the day, they are the same stone. They've just been changed a little bit differently. So for me, I don't find much difference, but a lot of people really do like the rough stone, yeah,
It's kind of a personal preference.
I think so. But, I think in life, everything's a personal preference. Working with them energetically, I don't find much difference for
All right.
me.
And that's the important part. There you go. So that's
Mhm.
good. Good distinction. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. One more that keeps trending. How do you properly cleanse or do you charge your crystals? I remember you telling me about charging them, and I'm not sure I really understood. And if so, how often should you do it?
Okay, so crystals carry energy, and energy is everywhere. It's in every space. You walk into a room, you can feel the vibe of the room. You can kind of tell if it's a place where you energetically feel good, or maybe it doesn't feel so great. So crystals are carrying all of these in their structure. A lot of times we really want to say, cleanse the crystal before we work with it. Cleansing it is basically removing the energies that are already held inside of it and clearing it so you can work with it in your own personal energy space. There's many different ways that people work to cleanse energies. So full moon is one of the biggest ones. It's, one of the biggest energetic spaces in our evening. The sun is full of energy, water, salt, smoke. So people use sage or incense. So anything that gets the energy moving. We use selenite. Selenite's another stone that works to clear the space, other stones. And when it comes to cleansing them, it's very interesting because I have this large space of thousands of crystals in my space, and I can't carry them all out to the moonlight and say, we're gonna cleanse you, and I can't run them all under the sink every night. They kind of just stay in their spot, move a little. I do like to keep selenite throughout the space on the different tables so that the selenite's working with keeping the energies cleansed. I do like to smoke and sage in the space. I'm not sure if you can hear the music in the background. I'm a big fan of solfeggio frequencies, which is different levels of healing frequencies. So I think the music really does a nice job, like it's singing to the crystals all day. And sometimes I think just your pure love and intention you put into it can really kind of cleanse that energy out and bring yours in.
Wow, wow, that's pretty interesting. Look at it. Got an audio experience, an auditory experience as well as that.
Right? You get a little healing
Wow.
frequencies in the
Wow, wow.
background.
Okay, so I'm sure you get this a lot, a question. I mean, you've given me some really fantastic insight, and I think that's kind of clarity people, that's why they come to you, right? So speaking of coming to you, I guess what I would say to you is how do I choose the right crystal for me, for my energy, or is it on my intention? I don't know. You know me, I'm kind of already bouncing off the wall, so.
Yeah, so we were gonna look at some like howlite for you to get some of that peace and calmness in there. Just pull things down a notch. Or some grounding stones so we can go out to the white or the black there, ground us or calm things. But when people come in, I like to work with people on an individual basis. Everybody has different needs. We don't know what their energy space is like when they come in. So I'm absolutely here to help if they want to work on something very specific. So like if somebody is carrying a lot of anxiety, I think anxiety is something that is rampant in our society, and we like to lead them into some crystals that will help calm their anxious space. We work with the chakra system a lot. The chakra system is the rainbow, starting with the root at the very bottom of our like butt area. That's where we're rooted. That's our survival space. And we work up our whole column of our body through the rainbow up to our crown, which is like the purple and the white and the area up there, which is like very bright light. White is the combination of all colors put together. And so when we're working with something like anxiety per se, I like to suggest things in that purple range, in the white range, maybe even indigo range, just things that will sort of soothe the area of our mind. Our society is so head oriented. Sometimes we just don't know how to get out of our head. And so that would be one thing I might do is, work with the chakra system, work with the ailment or something that you're trying to work on. And another thing is a lot of times we might not know where the anxiety is coming from. It might be a digestive problem that's actually giving us the anxiety, and we might not need to focus up in the head area. We might need to focus in the stomach area. And in which case, that's our solar plexus chakra. And we lead people into yellow crystals to work on our stomach area, if that's what it is. We're not doctors. So we don't say, oh, here, take this crystal home, your problems will go away. It's not that easy. I'm very clear about their tools, their little tools in our toolbox. We we have to do the work. We have to see what's happening to us. We're the only ones living inside our head 24 hours a day, inside our body, who can feel really what's going on. So, with that being said, a lot of times I'll say, walk around, what catches your eye. I promise some of these crystals will wink at you. They'll show you a sparkle. They'll catch your eye. They'll say, it's me, it's me, it's me. And you might just fall in love and be like, wow, I'm really loving you. So sometimes I say, crystals will find you, you don't find them. And I might not want to interject in your space to lead you somewhere. Sometimes I want to say, let the crystal find you. Go explore. Think about what you need. Put your intention out there. Feel your body, feel your mind, feel your emotions and soul, and go out into the crystal space and see who winks at you.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
interesting. Oh, so now, and that actually is a perfect lead into my next question. What's the difference between healing crystals and decorative stones? So how do you know the difference? I
I mean,
I don't know.
I guess I don't know when we say decorative stones per se. Everything carries energy. Everything carries energy. So, a decorative stone you might look at it and it might be so pretty and make you feel good. It's going to carry energy. Crystals to some people are just rocks. They're like, oh, you're going to use a rock to make you feel better. But they take millions of years to grow. And I look at them as a gift from Mother Earth to us to enjoy their beauty, to enjoy the decor of them in our space. I think all crystals heal. Some people will come in and they'll say, do you have any healing crystals? I'm like, oh, they're all healing. Come on in. This is what we're doing. Everything in here is carrying an energy and they're all healing and decorative. So to me, one and the same.
Interesting.
If that is your question.
Yeah. Well, no, then decorative stones also have that energy. Then that kind of alludes to what you had just said about, they'll reach out to you, they'll find you as well. So if you see something and you're attracted to it, it may be that stone is calling you. So interesting
Right.
point.
Might want to sit on your nightstand and make magic for you.
Yeah, interesting. So, hmm, what are some of the most powerful or rare crystals that you carry in a crystal mine?
Whoa. Okay. So the most infamous, powerful stone I think that's out there is moldavite. Moldavite is a tektite, which is a stone that's here on Earth that has come from an outer space impact. So I think Moldavite is considered to be over 5 million years old. So something from outer space impacted the Earth. And when it impacts it, there's an incredible amount of heat and pressure and velocity, and it will instantaneously, when it hits the Earth, turn to glass. This is one type of tektite because there's iron tektites. Moldavite is a glass tektite. It's green, which is the only green tektite that I'm aware of. And it's considered to be extremely high energy, move energies real fast, and to the point that, and it's pretty pricey because there's only one area. It comes from Czechoslovakia. It's the only place you can find, like, you can find quartz and amethyst and things all over the world. There's different crystals that have been working for millions of years, but this is a one impact area. So there'll be a limited supply of it. So that kind of drives the price up. The energetic power of it drives the price up a little bit. And when people buy Moldavite from our shop, it always comes with a disclaimer. Like, we always have to let people know this is a very high energy stone. You bring it into your life, some things might shift really fast. You might not be ready for it. And
Wow.
when things shift really fast, if there's toxicity in your life, if you're in a job that doesn't suit your soul or a relationship, sometimes you'll see those things crumble right around you. And you might enter that dark night of the soul that I was talking about earlier, because they don't suit your soul. And that comes in, brings some heavy energy in to flip the script. And yeah, so that comes with a disclaimer because I'll tell people if you bring this Moldavite home, you should be ready for whatever might come your way. I call it the closet cleaning crystal. It's going to come clean your closet out for you, whether you like it or not. And very important, I always say, when you work with Moldavite, when you bring it home with you, you should have some sort of intention of the things you want to upbring in your life. Because if you don't have the intention, you bring it home, that's going to start shifting on its own. And better to give it direction on the things that you're really looking for in your life.
Yeah.
And Moldavite was pretty integral for me going into the crystal business as well. So, and I didn't know about its energy properties when I purchased my first piece. So, yeah, I went through a nice little whirlwind of life, and then now I'm opening a crystal shop. So, yeah, we hit a little dip in life again, and then things got really bright.
Mhm. Seems to that's life, the ebb and flow of life. You can't have the highs without the lows.
Right? We got to learn how to ride through the lows. It's an important human characteristic that takes work. Like we've got to really work on ourselves if we want to, get to more highs and less lows.
Yes. Okay, and perfect segue into our next section, and it's time to get personal. So let's shift gears a little bit. You've talked about helping people connect with energy and purpose, but I want to know about you. What's one customer story that really stayed with you? Something that reminds you of why you do this every day.
Oh, you know what? Let's just take something from yesterday. Like, because I have so many stories. I could go on and on. I could probably write a book of all the beautiful souls I've met in this space.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful. So, yesterday I got to meet a grandmother and daughter who were out for lunch. Sorry, grandmother and granddaughter. And grandmother was up visiting, and granddaughter wanted to come, and they got to have lunch. They roamed the shop together. They oohed, they awed, they smiled. And just something as simple as that. We didn't change their life that I know that we did because it's really important to me that when people come in that they leave feeling better than when they've left. And that's usually what happens. Usually people come in and they immediately are like, like the weight of the world just somehow disappears and they enter this like really calming space. So watching these two, the grandmother was celebrating her 83rd birthday, I think it was, and her husband, 86, went to Taiwan and had just landed there that day to do Tai Chi at 86. And just listening to their story, just watching their glow, just being in the space of their love and their joy, it was just magnificent. And in that same
Mhm.
moment, there were two other customers in the shop who've never met each other. And I've known them both. And I noticed in another corner of the space, the two of them were chitty chatting, getting to know each other, smiling. And I'm like, wow, they're strangers to each other, but look at them. They're lighting each other up over there. And then at the same time, I had somebody contact me to see if she could bring a small group of special needs adults who were doing crafts and selling them at farmers markets to see if they could come in and talk to me about owning a business. And so I was sitting with them at the same time just talking about their love and their joy. So all of these things were all happening at the same moment. It was lighting me up. So that was
Yeah.
like three different instances at the same moment happening yesterday. And I'm like, how could you not live for more than that? That is just full joy in the air.
Wow. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing to be able to live that life. So bless you, girl. Someone that's listening who's local to Westport thinking, I want to start exploring crystal. What's a practical tip you'd give them before they visit your shop? Or, Do they need to do it?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think we were, yeah. So, like, I think the most important thing is to know what it is that you want to bring into your life or out of your life. Know what, and I say no because some of us just don't know, but feel it. Like what's working, what's not working. I'm a big fan of the line, intention is everything. It's and another one of my lines, I believe in magic. And I believe in the power of each and every individual soul. So our souls are here on a mission. We're here to learn lessons, we're here to grow. So I feel like whatever crystals you bring into your life are going to help one way or another, a little tool in our toolbox, like I had said, but really just to kind of come in with an idea of what's working, what's not working, and sit with that and see if you can get some instinctual hits about what it is you might need to do. You might come in here and figure, solve some big problems for yourself with those thoughts. Some of us don't take the time to sit and listen to ourselves. We just get up and we start the humdrum. We start that, day in and day out, and we don't stop and listen to what we have to tell ourselves. So I don't think people need to do research unless you want to have an idea. If you know how you're feeling, if you know there's something you already want, you could do a little research and come in looking for something specific that might match those thoughts. And I don't ever want anyone to ever feel, we get a lot of stories here and we get a lot of people who are new to crystals. And like I said, I always want to say, we're no doctor. We're not going to like fix a disease. We're not going to heal everything overnight.
curing cancer.
Everything. I think that we're capable of curing cancer. I think in our own human body knows what to do, and I think that with some help, with whether it's crystals, love, herbs, physical activity, mental strength, whatever it takes. I think that a lot of illness comes from us not taking care of our needs, not taking care of what happens, and then we build up things in our body that aren't good for us. So
Mm,
yeah, research, don't research, stumble in, bring a cup of coffee and just soak up the environment and see how you feel.
right, cool. Cool. So let me ask you something while we're talking local. What's one business around you that you love to support or collaborate with?
So there's actually a relatively new business here in Westboro. It's called Circles of Joy, and it's a space that's based around community healing. It's based around spiritual growth, and I think that they're doing a really great job bringing some things to people on more of a personal work, working with a practitioner. Whereas here, we're working with our little baby tools. So, yeah, I'll give them a shout out. I think that they're working really hard to help everybody wake up to their potential.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. I mean, that's what this show is all about. Local energy, lifting local energy. I mean, that's perfect. Okay. So now it's time for the local loop. The local loop is our mystery wheel. At the local loop. All right, so I'm gonna click it. The voices on Main Street, the local loop. As it spins away, what's it gonna be? We've got the curveball cue behind the business, the pro tip drop, the local lift, local love drop, and it looks like the pro tip drop. All right, so that means that Jamie is gonna give us a professional tip that we would not know or otherwise surmise. What's a pro tip from the Queen of Crystals?
Oh boy, a pro tip. I'm like, grab a crystal that makes you feel good, rub it in your hands like magic, and watch the magic happen.
Really? That's
Don't take,
interesting.
don't doubt it. Every time we doubt, we go backwards. Just believe and
Yeah,
look forward.
interesting. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Now, before we wrap, we got a tradition here, right? And that is to leave a question for our next guest. We call it passing the microphone. So let me ask you something. What's one thoughtful question you'd love for them to answer?
What lights up your soul? What
What
brings you
lights
joy? And what can you do to bring more of that into your life?
your soul?
Yeah, what brings you joy? That's
Brings you joy. All right.
I
Interesting.
think we all need to bring more joy into our lives. And what do we need to do that?
All right. Excellent. Excellent. So that I want you to end this question. People should come visit me at my shop because
They'll feel better when they leave.
some, that's awesome. That's awesome. Jamie, this has been awesome. I've enjoyed it. Did you enjoy this
So
little?
much, so much. I love to talk about what I do. I just love the feeling of being living in a blissful space of life. I feel like pinch myself, is it real? And I give the crystals a whole lot of this credit. They're the ones that led me to this space. So, yeah, I love to talk about it. I love to share it. And I always say some people think I'm the crazy crystal lady, but I don't think you'll bump into me and not see me smiling. So I'll be as crazy as they think I am, but there I am beaming from ear to ear. So here I am.
That's the best. That is the best.
Yeah.
All right. Before we wrap up, it's time for our mystery gift. So what's one small thank you or treat you'd love to offer our listeners for sticking around to the end here?
Ooh, let's do a little piece of selenite. I'm gonna say a selenite is, I think I don't know if I touched on it, but that's one of our cleansing and clearers. So we like to put a little piece of selenite anywhere in a space or with other crystals or with people or workspace where you want to keep the space cleansed and cleared. I love people to bring more selenite into their life. So absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. So for the next 14 days or so after you hear this, then stop in and say hi to Jamie and ask her about selenite. Now, if you ever wondered how crystals can help bring those balance and calm into your life, now you know you've got the inside scoop thanks to Jaime Sens from A Crystal Mind. For a full recap, photos, and bonus content, head over to Voices on Main Street. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen. Until next time, keep shining, keep sharing, keep supporting your Main Street. Jamie, thank you ever so much for joining
Oh,
me today.
thanks,
Have an
Jack,
amazing
so
day.
much. What a great talk we had today. I appreciate it.
We did.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Bye.